Hi, this is Billy D. If you enjoy this podcast, please like and subscribe. Let's grow NAI basketball. Thank you. Cascade Hoops Talk, bringing the world NAI basketball one podcast at a time. Hey, Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Today, big treat. We got Chris Briggs, head men's basketball coach, Georgetown College. Just a monster program there in Georgetown, Kentucky. They were in the Final Four last season, you know that. And they're going to be back. They're going to be really tough again this year. Kyran Jones, Tay Dozier, Cam Brooks Harris. I mean, they got Jaquay Wales at the point. They're really going to be loaded. Look for them this season. Coach Briggs, really good guy. Always able to make time for me, and I appreciate that. So let's take a listen to Coach Chris Briggs, Georgetown College Tiger basketball. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Chris Briggs. He's the head men's basketball coach, Georgetown Tigers down there in Kentucky. Thank you, Coach, for taking time this morning.
Yes, sir, Bill. Appreciate you and appreciate all you do for NAI basketball.
But before we start, I got to tell everybody, this guy's a class guy. I had never met him. And at Kansas City, I committed the cardinal sin. I walked up to him in the tunnel just before they played. Now, I've been around long enough to know that's the cardinal sin. And he didn't glare me off. He was very kind and took my phone number. And you were way more patient with me than you should have been, Coach, but thank you.
You're certainly welcome, but no problem at all.
You know, last season you did the Final Four run. Here's the question I have for you about that. Number one, congratulations. It's another great year for the Tigers. But when you walk away from that, as making the last four teams, is that satisfying or is that more frustrating for not getting into that championship game?
That's a great question, and you know, a little bit of both. Obviously, you know, first few days after, it's much more frustrating because you're so close, and you know, we played we started off great in that game against Indiana Tech, and you know, I think we got up 10, maybe even a little more than that, and we're rolling, and then just kind of, you know, they had all the momentum in the second half. And, you know, like everybody says, the most insignificant score is the halftime score, you know, so that's why they play the full 40 minutes. So it was frustrating there for those few days. But obviously, anytime you make that run to the Final Four and you get so close and have that chance, you know, it is satisfying, you know, once you heal from the loss. And, you know, like I told them once we got back here to Georgetown and had our end of the season things, you know, could have easily lost one of those first or second round games. Kyran Jones hits 2 free throws to beat Indiana Wesleyan in our gym, you know, after getting fouled on under out of bounds play. You know, he steps up and sinks 2 free throws when he's not known for being the best free throw shooter throughout his career. So, you know, could have easily ended that night or any other night. And but again, just, you know, it's satisfying, but obviously, you know, that first few days or a week or so after that loss is frustrating because you were so close.
That game you had with both Grace and Langston. I talked to Chris Wright the other day. He's gearing up. He's going to pay you back.
No doubt. Every time we talk, I remind him he's a great coach. He owes us one.
Yeah. But he made the comment, and I thought, you know, I didn't really get to see you play during the season. I got to see you playing in Kansas City. But I thought the hallmark of your team last year, and especially in Kansas City, was you just really out-toughed people down the stretch. You know, just talk about that team last year, and that it was kind of a mental toughness that they had.
Right, for sure. And that's Georgetown basketball. You know, that's what we've preached for years, you know, since I've been the head coach and since 2011. You know, I was fortunate to be an assistant coach for Happy Osborne, who's one of the best coaches I've been around, especially when it comes to motivation and toughness. You know, and he got that from Coach Jim Reed, you know, from years ago, and he got that from Bob Davis going back to 1953 to 73 before Coach Davis left Georgetown to take over at Auburn. So toughness has always been a staple of Georgetown, and you know, we practice hard, we play hard. You know, we talk about, you know, nothing good, nothing great is going to be easy. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to battle adversity to get to it. So that's one of the reasons Georgetown has been successful for such a long time, is because, you know, we practice and we preach toughness and mental toughness, physical toughness, discipline, doing things the right way, things like that, you know, all the time. So that's that's definitely a huge part of our program and our daily work.
You kind of touched on what I was going to ask you about. You've been at Georgetown since 2011. You've had a heck of a run, but Georgetown has had success that other programs only can dream about. Talk
Right.
about you talked about, you preach the toughness and everything, nothing comes easy. I think those are all, I think people understand that. But talk about the pressures upon the program, because people expect you to win, right?
Right.
What
For sure.
how do you you gotta put up with it. You're the head coach, but when players come in, they've got to feel a huge responsibility to keep that going.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. And we do a great job here of bringing back our former players. We just had a golf outing last Friday and had tons of former players back, and had our guys out there hanging out with them and eating with them afterwards, and building relationships with those guys. We do Saturday morning intra-squad scrimmages and have tons of former players come in and then tailgate with us before the football game. So a lot of it is connecting the present with the past, and keeping those people who've been through it around your program to help people through. And I love it when we finish those scrimmages and I look over and I see one of our former players that played for Coach Reed over there talking to one of our post players about giving them some little tricks to the trade. That's great. And I love it when our former guys come around and help mentor our current guys. And I think that's a big piece of it. Obviously, Georgetown is a great community. We're right here by Lexington, Kentucky, 10 minutes from Lexington, which is one of the best places to live in the world. Great campus, great professors, great administration that's supportive of our basketball program and wants to see our basketball program win. The biggest thing for me is we just got to continue to get high quality young men that are really good players. I'm not silly. It's not the coaching. I mean, it's getting good players and them being good people, good members of the community, hard workers, having the pride to want to win, to want to do something special. Every year we put a number on our practice jersey. Everybody's the same number. This year it's 33. And that signifies working for this year we're working for our 33rd straight national tournament appearance. So wow. I came here assistant coach in 2007. I believe that number was 16, maybe 17. And now we're at 33. So, just working to get into that national tournament and then have a chance at the end. Anything can happen in March, but like we've talked about, if you build your program on toughness and discipline, have high quality young men, you'll have a chance to do something special. And that's what we strive for every year.
When did you decide you wanted to be a coach?
Probably in high school. Always loved basketball growing up. Actually, it's weird. I was big into baseball until about high school. My brother was big into basketball until middle school, high school. Then we kind of switched, and he ended up playing college baseball. And then I played college basketball a year down at King and then Kentucky. So knew I wanted to coach in high school. And then I played that year at King College down in Bristol, Tennessee, and enjoyed it. Loved my teammates, had a blast. But knew, at the end of the day, if I wanted to coach, it might be better opportunity for me to go to UK and go to Kentucky, and was very fortunate to be able to get on the staff with Coach Tubby Smith there, and David Hobbs was an assistant there that still remained close to Cameron Hill and a lot of those guys, and was a student manager for Mr. Kitely. And for people around the world that don't know, Mr. Kitely was the equipment manager at Kentucky from Adolph Rupp through Joe B. Hall, through Eddie Sutton, through Rick Pitino, through Tubby Smith, through Billy Gillespie, then unfortunately passed there in the spring of 2008, shortly after my first season as assistant here at Georgetown. So was definitely fortunate to learn from so many people there, and then fortunate to learn from Coach Osborne here for 4 years as his assistant, and what he did and what he showed me about being a head coach when I was his assistant. At Kentucky, I was doing a lot of video, a lot of things like that as a GA, but then being kind of thrown to the fire, and okay, you're in charge of the post players, you're in charge of the guards, and here's how we do things at this level. Obviously at Georgetown you got 2 or 3 people on staff, and at those bigger schools you got 20.
Right, yeah.
So was very fortunate to learn from Coach Osborne, who will surely be an NAIA Hall of Famer here soon.
So that's the connection with Kentucky. I guess I didn't completely understand that. So I just saw posted you have a game with Kentucky. You're going to go over and beat them. When do you play Kentucky?
Yeah, I don't know about going over and beating them, but yeah, very, very fortunate to get that game. We had it in 2019. We played them in 2019, and we played them in 2014 when they had Devin Booker and Carl Towns and all them. So certainly appreciative of Coach Cal and Chris Woolard and Mitch Barnhart, the AD over there. Just a great opportunity for our guys. Most of our roster is Kentucky kids, and many of them played in Rupp Arena during the state tournament. But
Right.
In Rupp Arena during the state tournament and playing Kentucky in Rupp Arena, is a little bit different. So,
Yeah.
Great opportunity for them, and really looking forward to it. And that's on Friday night, October 27th.
I want to talk about your team, but before I do that, when you became a head coach, what were some of the things that surprised you?
I think a lot of the little day-to-day things, just things always popping up at you, and I knew watching Coach Osborne, and even at Kentucky watching Coach Smith, just some things you need to make a really quick decision on, and some things you need to think about, and that just kind of depends on whether it's basketball stuff or off the court stuff, or maybe an issue with a guy in a classroom, or issue with a guy and his family, something he's going through. So just the different day-to-day things that just kind of pop up in your lap that you're not expecting. And then as a young first-year head coach, just trying to navigate what's the best way to deal with this, and just being thrown into the fire. So obviously it was a different experience, and following Coach Osborne, who had tons of success, the way he handled things, the way he operated, the way he worked. I mean, he worked hard. He would recruit as hard as anybody I've ever seen. Just watching him and the things he did, and learning from him, but also at the same time not trying to be him, and making sure I kept reminding myself, be yourself. I can't be something I'm not, and many things I do very similar to him, but some things not so much. So just being comfortable in your own skin, and being confident in your decision making, and being thorough. Make sure you're making the right decision, or at least what seems like at the time that the best decision possible.
So this season, you only lose Jake Omer, and Drew Lamont, two big losses. But you have amazing core group coming back. You and I were talking just for a moment ago. Cam Brooks Harris, Kyran Jones, Tay Dozier, and then you'll have Jaquay Wales back at point. Talk about this core group you have coming back.
Right. We've got a very experienced group back. Obviously, losing an explosive scorer like Jake Omer, can hurt a little bit. And Drew Lamont did a great job for us for 2 years. Was good for at least a charge, maybe two charges every game, and would knock down threes at the stretch four spot, and was a solid player for us. So definitely, losing those two will provide opportunities for other guys to step up, is the way we have to look at it. You mentioned Kyran Jones and Cam Brooks Harris, Tay Dozier. Those guys all had great games out there in Kansas City. Unfortunately, didn't have Cam for that last one. And then Jaquay Wales back at the point guard spot, veteran, experienced, knows what we want out of our offense. And then, looking for other guys to step up. And I think those guys will be, Jabrion Spikes was a freshman last year, played good minutes for us, and strong, tough guard that can really score, really guard people. Tommy Thomas is a left-handed wing that can really guard people, and explosive and score and slash, get to the basket. And then Rashad Bishop is about 6'7", really athletic, had some big-time highlight dunks and alley-oops through a run last season, and looking for him to make strides to step up and fill those guys roles.
I got a couple guys to ask about. Kyran Jones, he's got to be the biggest 6'5" guy in the country. I can't believe how big he played. And when I met him, he's not that big.
Yeah, he's 6'5". He's strong, 215, 220-ish. Really good in the mid post and getting to the basket. But yeah, against Grace, how big's Malone? 6'9",
exactly.
10, and he's backing him down and giving him a little Tim Duncan shoulder fake and throwing a little, dropping a little jump hook over him. So definitely a warrior, definitely a great kid. He started on our team in 2019-20 before COVID ended. He started as a freshman. He redshirted that 18-19 year, so he was here through that run. Jaquay Wales was here through that run in 18-19, and then they were playing as redshirt freshmen on that 19-20 team that was fired up and ready to go for another one.
Right, exactly.
Those guys have tons of experience. They know what it takes to win, not only in our league but in Kansas City, and definitely two great leaders for a lot of the young guys in our program.
The other guy who really impressed me, again, you and I talked about before we started, but Tay Dozier's composure and court sense for a freshman, his presence, his court presence, really impressed me for a freshman. You're looking for big things from him?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. He was, conference freshman of the year. Great young man. Off the court, I think I told you before, he's academic all conference. He's smart, and as smart as he is in the classroom, he's like that on the court too. He knows every position. He can run the point for you. He can play the four spot for you if you go small. He can do it all. Tons of confidence and tons of, like you said, just court savvy and knowing how to play. Knowing when to go get a bucket, but also knowing when to, play off 2 feet, jump stop, and pitch it to the wide open man in the corner for a three. Definitely looking forward to big things from him. Explosive. He's explosive, athletic. Gets in the rack and had some nice poster dunks last year, and just looking for big things out of here as he continues to mature and grow.
What's your outlook? I don't know. I'm not asking you to make a prediction, but talk about how you feel about this team going in. You got about a month to go before you play.
Right. Yeah, we'll right at a month here. We'll have that exhibition game with Kentucky. So just excited. We got a ton of guys back. We had a few guys that redshirted last year that are ready to step in and play. We got a few freshmen that came in. We've got a transfer that came in that is a junior that should be able to help us and play significant minutes for us. Whether that's tracking into the starting lineup or coming off the bench. So really excited about the group we have. Got really good veterans and some really good young talent, and so far everything's been going great with our workouts, guys working hard, guys focusing on getting better each and every day, making sure we check our egos at the door, and we're all in, as a team, and all in. We talk all the time as a group with our team, just everybody's talented on this roster, everybody's capable. There's going to be some nights where, say so-and-so, Cam gets hot. Cam's going to get hot, and he's going to have his 25 or whatever. There's going to be other nights where maybe they're backing off, Tay, and he's able to get in the lane and get to the rack. So got tons of versatility, tons of athleticism, and just try to make sure we keep these guys together and realizing that it doesn't matter, doesn't matter who gets the buckets as long as we get the buckets. But most importantly, we got to guard and defend and rebound and take care of the basketball and, do those simple things and play with toughness, play with discipline, strive for March, most importantly, you want to be healthy and fresh in March and playing your best at that time. And, you use the season to get ready for that. So just looking forward to the challenge with this group and really excited about the group that we have.
Before I let you go, Coach, talk about your students, your alumni, the people there in Georgetown, and how much support you get.
It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. It's like I said, former players coming back to scrimmages and tailgating with us at football games, then coming to the games. Obviously, the gym was rocking last year when we hosted the first and second round right there. I'm not sure if the fire marshal was here keeping people out, but it sure felt like it. Certainly a special place, great alumni base, great community support. We play in historic Davis Reed Alumni Gym, and we're in the process of getting some renovations going to that. So we're really excited about that. And hopefully we'll have that get rolling after this season completes, and we'll really make that historic gym even nicer. It's one of the most historic gyms in the state of Kentucky, and a lot, people have tons of people who I know from my UK days or that live in Lexington that end up coming up to one of our games that have never been before. And, they're amazed at the atmosphere. They're amazed at, the beautiful old gym and the banners hanging from the rafters and the tradition of Georgetown. So certainly a special place, and it's a great time to be a Tiger.
Coach, I really appreciate you giving me a few minutes talking Tiger basketball. Wish you luck as the season gets going, and don't forget to celebrate that victory over Kentucky.
I don't know. Coach Cal probably got other things in mind. I tell our guys we're going to go in there and we're going to play hard. We're going to compete. We want to make them better. They're obviously going to make us better. Bill, those guys are McDonald's All-Americans for a reason now. So, some things are just a different level, but we'll go in there, we'll play hard, we'll challenge them. I reminded a few of my friends last time we played them. We kind of got on the boards, and I know he was kind of disappointed in their rebounding at that time, and they toughened up in practice, and then they go beat Michigan State a week later. So hopefully we'll just I know they're going to make us better. They're obviously going to make us play. We're going to have to play really well just to even hang with them for a little while. But, hopefully we'll go in there and make them a better team and help them out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Coach. That's Coach Chris Briggs. He's head men's basketball coach, Georgetown Tigers. Thank you, Coach.
Anytime, Bill. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Always great talking with you.
Okay, thank you. Hey, thank you, Coach Briggs. Thank you to Georgetown College I hope you enjoy these shows. I really appreciate the comments I've gotten back. We'll be back on again in a couple of days. Please like and subscribe. That'll help grow this podcast. It helps more than you would know. And thank you very much, and we'll see you in a couple of days. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAI school, because NAI basketball is the best entertainment value in America.